Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, break free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to YouTube, our YouTube page. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, if a question or comment on that platform, it'll come up here on the screen. It'll come up here in a thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring it all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Man, we got a great show for you. We got a great show for you, my man. He was just here on Wednesday. Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com is going to join us. We're going to talk about the Cubs. Cubs have advanced to the National League Divisional Series, NLDS. Unfortunately, he could not bring home the W for you guys on Wednesday, excuse me. So, but we're going to talk about it with him at the bottom of the hour at 9:30. And then we have some Bears talk. It's pretty a slow week now because the Bears are on a bye this week and kind of give everybody a chance to reset, relax, exhale, right? Because it's Bear season's crazy. It's intense. And whenever we get that bye, it just gives us a chance to chill. So, listen, let's check out the chat, see what's going on in the chat. Lavette Lee checking in with her nonsense already. Go Cubs, go. Great. Happy Friday, y'all. Cornelius Squalls is in the house. Like, what up? Shawn Sierra sports fans. See you too with that nonsense. Fly the W and go Cubs, go. Lord have mercy. Oh, man, Rick Gonzalez is in the house. It's hola, fool. FGB all day, every day. I couldn't agree more, Rick. Couldn't agree more. Was that FGB because G's under the T, or was that FTB, I don't know what you're saying. The junior with his nonsense. Go, Cubs, go. Lord have mercy. Oh, is it Tom Brady? Is that what that is? Black Diamond coming in, picking up with that nonsense with the W. Top of the morning, gang. Gonna be a long weekend with no Bears. FGB. No, it won't. See, here's what you got to do. First of all, there's a house music festival this weekend. Yeah, I thought they were over too, but I got a text from my cousin. Oh, the Brewers. FTB. Screw the Brewer. Okay, got you. So, Black Diamond, there's a house music festival on SuperBack in Morgan. You know, Morgan's about 2 blocks west of Halstead, 1000 West. SuperBack and Morgan. So you're right by the, not too far from the Dvork Park. All right, so that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Today, tomorrow. So you got that going. All right. But also, here's the time, if you have a significant other, now's the time in the middle of football season, you spend with them. All right. Now's the time you spend with them. The weather's going to be beautiful outside. So if you want to go to the House Music Festival, do that this weekend. If not, bro, there's a lot of other stuff going on too, man. You still got the zoo. You got a lot of Halloween stuff. You know, women like to do the haunted trail type shit and pumpkin patches. You know, take a quick ride out of town. Either go right around to Michigan, or Indiana, or Michigan. You know, they have the pumpkin patch. Just do something, you know, whatever they like, bro. Just to buy you some cool points. Just to buy. Hey, as a man, we can never, ever have enough cool points when it comes to the ladies. Their significant other. It can never. Oh, you worked the weekend. Okay. Oh, damn, dog. Yeah. Well, it might be a long one for you, Papa. I'm sorry to hear that. For Gonzalez, said we're some violent Chicago sports fan. FTW in the Shy. Who's the W? FGB. I'm trying to see who the W is. Oh, if it's listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. We're missing Mr. Southside himself. He should be checking in any moment. We're missing little King Booker World. I know they'll be checking in shortly. Missing Mr. Shorty. They'll be checking. He's probably still talking about that cigar. Oh, that cigar. Dude, he told me like 3 times. We're in the venue. 3 times he told me in the venue. And he's like, he goes, Shawn, this might be the best cigar I've ever had. I'm like, I didn't see. He goes, no, really, this might be the best cigar I've ever had. I was like, okay. And then I came back around again. And like I said, about 3 times he told me. It was actually a really good cigar. But there he is, Mr. Southside himself. He goes, you didn't see my post on here? No, I didn't, bro. I was just looking back to see if you're on another one, but no, I didn't see it. Like Diamond, Gonzalez, Rick, Junior, Rick, Cornelius, and Levette. I didn't see if you had another one up there. I didn't see it, Michonne. My bad, Papa. Or it's not up there. That's why I didn't see it. But yeah. Oh man, we had burpees yesterday, dude. I was like, you son of a gun. Not fun. Burpee box jump overs we had yesterday. No burpees today, but man, that was nutso. That was crazy. I'm excited. This weekend, I don't have a lot. I'm probably just going to go hang with my cousin on tomorrow. So I told you about that house music festival on SuperBack in Morgan. All right, I'm probably going to go to that. My cousin's birthday is this weekend. So he sent me a text. We have a cousin group thread. He's like, I'm going to be here for my birthday. Come celebrate with me. I'm like, oh, I bet. So I'll probably do that. Otherwise, a whole lot of nothing, bro. And sometimes we need weekends like that, all right? The Bears aren't playing. It's a good time to reset. Okay, chill, sleep in, relax. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay. Because the next 13 weeks, yeah. What's that? 3 months, 3+ months. Yeah. Nonstop. So if you have a significant other, now's a good time. This weekend is a great time. The weather's going to be beautiful this weekend. It's a great time to get out there and spend it, enjoy it with them. All right, because the next 13 weeks, it's all about the Bears, baby. It's all about the Bears. And at least your significant other will realize, like, wow, they took time for me in the middle of football season. You don't got to tell them the Bears aren't playing. Rick, going on a prescription run. I'm heading out to Michigan on Saturday to pick up my medicine. Smoke weed every day. FGB. Oh, Rick, you're crazy, boy. You're crazy. You're a wild boy. Well, listen, let's get it started. Let's get it crack-a-lacking because at the bottom of the hour, as I said, my man Evan Altman is going to join us. Yeah, he's going to join us. So, Cub fans, get excited. You're all and shit. Just we're talking Cubs. But they won yesterday, so we'll give them their props. Anyways. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Which way do we go? Which way? There's only one place to go, man. I didn't play. Scrubs. The Cubs. In Game 3 of the National League wild card round, the Cubs beat the San Diego Padres 3-1 to advance to the National League Divisional Series and play the Milwaukee Brewers. Jameson Taillon got the start for the Cubs. He got a no decision. 4 innings, 2 hits of shutout ball, no walks, 4 punch-outs. Michael Busch with a big home run, insurance home run late in the game. He was 3 for 4, hitting his first home run of the postseason, driving in his first RBI of the postseason. PCA, 3 for 4. Is he getting warm? Is he getting hot? He was 3 for 4 with an RBI, his first of the postseason, and Dansby Swanson drove in the other run, his first of the postseason. Staying with that, the Cubs Game 1 of the National NLDS National League Divisional Series against the Brewers starts on Saturday up in Brewtown. First pitch is at 1:08 Central. You can catch that game on WTBS or True TV. You can catch it locally on their flagship station, 6:70 a.m. The probables for that game, the Cubs have yet to decide. It'll be a TBD, to be decided later. The Brewers are going to throw Freddie Peralta on the bump for Game 1. It's going to be a lot of Cub fans traveling up I-94. Depending on where you live, it's like anywhere from an hour to 2 hours up to Milwaukee. On the north side, it's about an hour. If you're North Shore, maybe 45 minutes to a half hour. All right, if you're on the south side, if you're southwest burbs, it'll take you a longer, hour and a half-ish, 2 hours. It takes me about 2 hours to get to Milwaukee because I live so far south. I got to go to the whole length of the city before I start heading up that way. But so I like to go to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee for little getaways during the summer. Summerfest. I just love how they do Summerfest. And because it's not a big city, it's never really they're really crowded is kind of crowded for us. All right? we would say that type of crowd would be, it's kind of crowded. Not crowded, not really crowded. It's kind of crowded. That's their version of really crowded. Because they're just a small town. And, there's not a lot of people. So, anyway. Next topic, the Blackhawks. Here come the Hawks, the mighty Blackhawks. The Blackhawks in another preseason matchup host the Minnesota Wild tonight at the United Center. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, 720 a.m. So today is my guy. So if any listen, and you guys ever want to get to like a Sox game, Cubs game, Bulls game, and now he's doing Blackhawks games, reach out to me. I got a guy. Listen, I'm a Southsider. I got a guy. All right, he's having an outing today. All right, it's an outing to the Blackhawks game. Listen to this deal. This deal is crazy. Crazy. When I say crazy, I mean crazy. It is $60. So you meet at Output, which is right down the street, right on Grand and Wood. It's $60 a person. Okay. Package includes the pregame starts at 4:00 at Output Lounge, 1758 West Grand. And you get one drink. The first drink is on my guy. Then you get a shuttle bus to and from the game and a 100 level seat. So you're in the 100 level. Great seats for $60. Can't beat that with a stick. So if you guys, I'm telling you, my guy gets, if you're ever interested or if you're interested in concerts in the Chicagoland area, my guy gets those tickets as well. So if you need it, let me know. Hit me up on social media. Hit me up on Twitter, on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. Hit me up on Messenger. All right. It's my guy. It's going to be a good one. I'm not going tonight. However, I've been to plenty of Hawks games. Remember, I used to be an antifreeze usher, so I worked a whole season doing Hawks games. Keeping it moving. What is this? Come on, Evan. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Crazy. The next topic, the Bears. Our Bears, they're off this week. Okay, however, they return on Monday night, October 13th, in Washington, the revenge game to play the Commanders. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ABC 7 locally or ESPN, or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. So we have a ways to go. I feel you, though, Black Diamond. I feel you. It could be a long weekend, but if you could fill it up with some other stuff, you know what I mean? That'll help you out a lot. I know you got work, so sorry about that. That sucks. Junior says, I'm waiting for Cub fans fighting in the stands with Brewer fans. Oh, man, that's hilarious. And my guy Rick says, Wisconsin blows. I'd rather go to hell than Wisconsin, FGB. I'll tell you, bro, Milwaukee's a cute little town. It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice little... It's quaint. It's like, it's just not as crowded as Chicago. You get to see the Fonz statue. If you guys remember who the Fonz was. Junior says, Rick, I'm the same way. I hate going to Wisconsin. And they both reply with FGB. Rick, Junior, FGB. I get it. But I must say congratulations to the Cubs. All right. Winning the wild card round. Moving on to the divisional round. And what is now becoming probably your bitter rival. I think they've taken over the Cardinals as your arch rival. The Cardinals has a longer history, but the Cardinals really haven't been relevant in a long time. All right, they haven't been relevant in a long time. And now you're actually going to have, this is going to be the first playoff matchup between the Cubs and the Brewers. I'm sure the first of many of years to come. But this is the first time the Cubs and the Brewers are squaring off in the playoffs. And it's going to be interesting. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my mans and them. Evan Altman, he's coming up. And he couldn't get it done when he came on Wednesday. But he went back to Naptown, where he's from, and he rooted him on. So, big win for the Cubs yesterday. We're going to talk about it with Evan Altman on the other side of the break. So do me a favor, don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
You should totally talk to him. No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Message right now is do not pitch it in the strike zone.
field. Here comes Jackson Merrill. It falls for a base hit. Heat Crow Armstrong puts the Cubs on top in Game 3.
First up in the fourth inning against Jamison Tyone.
Arise with a line drive dropped by Swanson. He's got time, and Arise is out. Iglesias lines it to second, and a leaping Nico Horner. They tried somebody else. It was the wrong somebody.
The problem is they tried another Gold Glover.
The Stanford man, as Robert Suarez returns to the game to face Bush. Bush drives the ball to deep right field. Michael Bush, goodbye.
Michael Bush, one of the hottest hitters on the planet, going into this playoff, comes up big in Game 3.
That was the insurance fund my people were talking about. Junior and Mondo, we were in that thread. Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ABC, ESPN, the whole Disney network, depending on where you're watching it. Man, that was the Northsiders yesterday with a huge 3-1 win over San Diego Padres in the rubber match, the deciding match of the series. The Cubs move on. All right. Now they go up I-94 on Saturday, excuse me. I wonder if they go up there today. So does everybody drive up there? Or do they take a team bus? They're not flying, that's for sure. Not flying. It'd literally probably be a 10-minute flight. Probably couldn't even get to high altitude. That's how close that shit. I wonder, because it takes, 40 minutes to get to St. Louis, and that's a 4-hour trip. Depending on where you are. If you leave from O'Hare, you're all the way up north. That's right about an hour driving. So, yeah, they're probably taking a bus up there. Or you just say, hey, everyone just get up there by yourself? No, they got to take a bus up there. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Our first guest today, I'm fired up to talk to him. I know he's fired up. I know he couldn't get it done. Couldn't bring home the W on Wednesday, but he made sure I know he was cheering like a crazy son of a gun yesterday, like all my Cub fan friends were. They were going through heart palpitations too yesterday. Oh, man, he's the editor-in-chief of CubsInsider.com. Let's welcome back, my man. Oh, you can find him on Twitter at @DEvanAltman. Guys, just welcome back, Evan Altman. Evan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm good. I feel like it's only been like 2 days since I talked to you.
I know.
It's because it has. It's this is a quick turnaround. I dig it. I'm glad to have a reason to be back.
Yeah, and I thought of you, and I meant to text you, and it slipped my mind after I thought of it. I was like, "You're a mush. Get him in the closet."
Yeah, they're 0 for 6 when I'm in attendance at a postseason game. But I noted that they are 5-1 the game after I attend a postseason
really?
game. So yeah, so as long as I go when it's not an elimination game, then it's fine, right? Because then they're going to win the next one, pretty much guaranteed. So we'll see.
I like that. Okay, very nice. But big win for the Cubs yesterday, obviously. Talk to me about Jamison Tyone. He had a nice game, 4 innings, I believe. 4 innings, shutout ball, no walks, 4 punch outs. Talk to me about the way he started the game, and then why did they take him out?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that he did. He looked really, really good. Got his 12 outs. Changeup was working really well. Like seeing that, and I'll say this too. I kind of appreciate, a lot of times you look at these national broadcasts and you lose a lot of stuff, and sometimes they get into some of the same narratives. And certainly we've all heard, if you've watched baseball for the last year, you've heard about the kick change. But I thought Ben McDonald on the broadcast did a really good job of explaining that pitch, why it works, and why it's taken a while to be effective for Jamison Tyone. So he took something that I think had nice appeal to a national broadcast audience and locally. So I was actually pretty impressed with that ABC broadcast. But no, Tyone looked really good, and I think it's just a matter of knowing. And we saw this from both sides the whole time, right? Of course, it didn't come out nearly as quickly as Yu Darvish, who got bounced in the second inning. But of knowing both teams have their strength in the bullpen. And so it's really just a matter of, okay, how many innings do I need to get out of my starter to know that I'm good to cover them with the relievers? And it was dicey, right? Like you said, I mean, they had to go to Andrew Kittredge, who was the opener in the previous game and who had pitched the 8th in the first game. I mean, they had Matt Boyd warming up in the bullpen, who was the game one. So how often do you see in a 3-game series, consecutive days, technically both of the starters from the previous 2 games were warming up in the bullpen to work in the 3rd game. So that, that got close because Brad Keller made it really, really tight, but Tyon did enough to get him to that point, and he got pulled before he could face somebody, multiple times and get some of those. They have those, as Craig Counsell called them, pockets of lefties, especially down toward the bottom of the order. And so I think it's just a matter of, hey, man, you got through it. You turned the lineup over. You got through those next 3 guys. Now they got some lefties coming up. We're going with the pen, and we're going to play the matchups from here. So he did his job. Yeah,
and isn't that crazy? Like, just the way baseball has changed. Growing up, starters would go 7+, even in the postseason. Maybe they'd be quicker to pull them in the postseason than the regular season, but nonetheless, you're still looking at least 6+ to 7+ innings back growing up. Now it's like, okay, we'll go 4 or 5 and then use a bullpen, because everyone, how do you feel about the way the game has evolved now with so many specialists, and you get so many people coming out of the pen throwing 100, 102, 103, 104 miles an hour with movement? How do you feel about the evolution of the game and how they use pitchers now?
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting, because then we could also look across at the game that followed, right? You look at the Yankees and the Red Sox, and they had rookie Cam Schlitter for the Yankees. I think went 8, struck out 12. So that was kind of a throwback. But again, that's also based on your personnel, right? So it's different to have some young fireballing kid who can do that versus a guy like Tyon, who's he's been around for a minute and a half, and the strikeout rate is way down. He does give up a lot of contact. And so you're kind of looking at that saying, we know we have finite time with this guy. Like, unless he's really on one, he's not going 8 innings under the best circumstances in most cases, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think part of it's unique as well in that you're looking at perhaps San Diego for sure. But even with their bullpen, as elite as that is, they had to get into it so quickly, and they did so pretty much every game. Having a lean on those guys, you could see the effects that it has over time, right? Mason Miller wasn't available. You saw Robert Suarez, 40 saves, led the National League in saves. But when you have to pitch day after day after day, not only might you be a little tired, guys are going to see that more frequently. So I think there's this back and forth to it, right? If your strength is that bullpen, if those are where your best pitchers are, and you're in a game that you absolutely have to win, just like anything else, like, we're going to give the ball to the players we feel are best able to get those outs. We got to get to 27 outs. Doesn't matter how we get there. And so give me the best guys. And that's a little bit different, because before it was you're going to ride with that starter until he proves to you that he can't do it anymore. And now it's like, we're going to ride with you just long enough, but like, we're going to pull you before we get to the point where we're questioned. Like, I think these managers now, understandably, would rather be questioned, why did you pull him early, than why did you leave him in there too late, especially when you have 4 or 5 elite bullpen arms after him. Like, you'll live with that, right? I'd rather pull a guy early than watch him go out there and then all of a sudden you get into trouble. Now you're bringing somebody to a dirty inning, that sort of thing. So I don't like it. This is a very long answer. I promise I'll wrap this up. I don't like it as much because we grew up in a similar era where you saw, the relievers, you'd have a couple of guys right at the back end, like saves, like that.
Set up and save guy, that's it.
Yeah, and that was about it, right? And only if you needed them. And so that part's a little bit weird, but I can appreciate that when you look at it statistically, it does make a ton of sense, because the second or third time those guys see somebody, they're just so much less likely to be able to find success as a pitcher. So you got to do what you got to do to get the win, and it worked out better in the Cubs' favor this time.
One of the things that I said was, if you guys get hot, not everybody at the same time, but if you guys start getting hot, you guys are a dangerous, dangerous team, because the whole baseball world saw what you guys are capable of when everybody's hot. That first half of the season, you were rolling, had the best record in the league for a while, best record in the National League. Obviously first place in your division for a long period of time. Then the slump hit. Do you think PCA is out of his slump? 3 for 4 yesterday. And we know what he does. We saw what he can do. Well, we know what he can do with the glove. But in him on the base pass, him getting hot, him on the base pass. We talked about it on Wednesday. We talked about Seiya Suzuki getting hot. We talked about Michael Bush being hot, and we mentioned what if PCA gets hot. How are you feeling now that you saw PCA go 3 for 4? This is a big game. This wasn't game one, not the big game one's not big because you always want to get the first game. But in a closeout game, PCA stepped up big time. How is that going to help his confidence, and how is that going to help the confidence of the Cubs going forward, going up to Milwaukee, knowing that the hottest guy in baseball in the first half of the season might be on track again?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right? And I think it helps that and he acknowledged it, right? Like he's said it, he's spoken to it, said going in that third game, he didn't feel the pressure to perform despite how poorly he had played. But then you see him make that really great sliding grab on the Manny Machado liner to end the first inning, the end of the top of the first inning. And that's one of those, 10% catch probability. So you look at a guy like that, and I think that's part of what we talk about on Wednesday is sometimes it might be a hit, it might be a great defensive play, it might be a little, a stolen base or an infield slapper single, something, and then we see him come back up in the second inning. That's when he gets his first little hit. He had a strikeout in there afterwards, but then worked, and it was against Suarez, right? One of the most elite closers in the game right now. Works a full count, drives the ball 100+ miles an hour for a single. And his last time up hits one like 109. And those are the things that, to me, when, the first single was one thing, I think that kind of released the pressure a little bit. But then to work that full count against an elite closer, to end up with the hit, and then on the next one to jump on the second pitch he saw. And the hit he had against Darvish was on the second pitch. So I think he was intentionally wanting to be aggressive, wanting to find a pitch he could drive rather than kind of sit back on it. So you see those different scenarios come up. When somebody's hitting like that, like 109 off the bat is not an accident, right? You don't just luck into that. Like that's something. That's what tells me he's locked in. So you kind of get the one, the early one wasn't great, but it drove in a run. And I think that kind of thing, like you give him the lead early, you just made this great catch, that puts him in the right mindset. And I think that's the kind of thing that carries over really well. And so if you have a confident PCA going into the series, knowing he can impact it regardless. And I think that's the great thing with him is again, he could go 0 for 3, but still impact the game with his defense. But if he's hitting as well, he becomes one of the best players on the field, regardless of who's out there.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. 109 off the bat doesn't happen by accident. That means 1, you're locked in. 2, you're ready. You've done your film work. Okay, you've picked up tendencies, or you have an idea of how they like to pitch you. And then you sit on a pitch, and when you get it, you don't miss it. All right, because you could do all the film work and study it and get the pitch you want and miss it. And then what good is it? He just doesn't miss that pitch. He didn't miss that pitch yesterday, and you saw it. It's important for him and the Cubs for him to get going because he reminds me a lot. I know he got traded for him, but like a Javi Baez, the emotional leader of that team. He's young, he's energetic. You remember the youthful exuberance we had when we were 23, young and dumb and full of craziness. You know what I mean? So it was and I think that is so infectious to this team. What about Kyle Tucker? I know he had a couple hits the other day. Hasn't really made a huge impact, but we just talked about Seiya. We talked about Bush. We talked about PCA. We haven't even mentioned Tuck. What happens if this guy starts to roll, dude? Because now you're going to need him against the Brewers. You're going to need pretty much all moving forward now in the DS and the NLCS. If you get there and the World Series, you're going to need all hands on deck. Everyone's got to be playing their best baseball.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I think, and that's part of what we talked about on Wednesday, was that if nothing else, he's still steady, right? You can tell he's not quite there as far as, he's knocked a couple solid singles. Kind of still looks like he's a little bit unsure of himself. Maybe the timing's not so great, but that, again, he's still putting together these really good professional plate appearances. He is hitting the ball. If that starts, as the confidence, and I think with anything, physically, you've had some time off. So there's the calf. There's anytime you come back, and I've probably said this more times than it's been repeated by a ton of other people, but coming back from an injury, in most cases, the worst part is the mental side of things and being kind of allowing yourself to cut it loose at 100%. Man, can I trust this? Because I'm worried that if I really go, if I bust it out of the box, maybe that calf seizes up. So I think there's a little bit of that's going on, which to that I just say, well, hit the ball out of the park and then you can trot. You don't have to sprint if you hit a homer. But if he's hot, if he can start driving the ball with authority, that just, again, it's the rising tide, right? It makes everybody better because now you have someone who you really got to fear. Like I'd be afraid of, say, Suzuki and Michael Busch right now because of the way they're hitting. But you add Tuck to that mix, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, how are you going to pitch around it? You got to figure out how to get through those top 5 guys in the lineup, and that's going to be a really tough task, and it has been. And those they've been getting it done, and especially in a hitter's park up there in Milwaukee, a place where I think guys can get hot in a hurry. So it'll be interesting to see. But hopefully, mentally, I think if he's able to cut that loose and really get after it with that calf, I think that'll make a huge difference for them.
That's not even PCA, because PCA, they had him at 6 or 7, so he might not even be in that top 5. And if he's hit, you got to navigate the top 5 and then PCA after that. So you guys are in a good spot if Tuck can kind of wake up and get. I didn't say wake up. It's not like he's. I think if he can feel better and get closer to the first half, Kyle Tucker that you guys saw, any step closer to that puts a lot more pressure on the opponent, in this case, the Brewers. Talk to me about the pitching staff. It's a TBD for the Cubs. I was trying to find who they're pitching tomorrow. Nothing yet. Who do you think it would be, and who would you want it to be?
I mean, if I'd had my druthers, they would have gone with maybe a Michael Soroka opening or a Drew Pomeranz opening for Colin Ray on that Wednesday game where they went Andrew Kittredge and then Shota Imanaga. And, hindsight's 2020, but Kittredge gave up the early run. That ended up being all that the Padres would need. And then Shota Imanaga got left in a little too long, gave up the jack to Manny Machado. But if you look at it, again, Matt Boyd, if you went with that same rotation, he'd be the one due up. But having just pitched on Tuesday, now you're talking short rest. He also, got warm yesterday. So unless you're going to use an opener and have Boyd go just 2 or 3, I think you go with a Colin Ray. I mean, Javier Assad is another possibility, but I like Ray with using someone like, again, maybe a Michael Soroka, somebody who's used to working some multiple innings, kind of waiting there behind him. Or, again, you could go with an Assad, somebody like that. But Ray has looked really, really good. 18 strikeouts his last 2 starts. He's moving well. He kind of made some mechanical adjustments. And, we talked the last time about maybe guys having a chip on their shoulder. And I don't think he's got any ill will by any stretch toward anybody in Milwaukee. But, again, he is a guy who has pitched in Milwaukee, who's familiar with the ballpark there. He was with the Brewers just last year. And so there's maybe a little bit of something to that. So we'll see, but I'll be interested because this first game being kind of a short turnaround will require a little bit of finagling. But then after that, they get a day off in between each of the next couple. So you can set up your rotation a little bit better after that.
Yeah, you can. What's the biggest thing you got to worry about with the Brewers? Because they went on a couple of double-digit win streaks. And truth be told, Evan, I can't, except for former, not even a star. He reminds me like Frank Thomas back in 05 when Frank Thomas was at the end of his career. They have one guy up there in the former MVP, Jesus Christ.
Yelich.
Christian Yelich. He's the only guy I can name on that team. He's the only guy I can name on that team. What the hell do the Cubs have to worry about, and why were they so good with a team that I can barely name one person on that team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been kind of the interesting thing though all along, right? Is during this kind of run they've had of success, at least in the regular season, it's largely been, I don't want to say no names, right? But I mean, Jackson Churio has been good. They've had their guys but it feels like they've had a bunch of replaceable dudes who just show up there. Look at Andrew Vaughn. I mean, the White Sox were happy to get rid of him. And the dude had been optioned down to AAA, right? When they made that trade with Aaron Savali, but then all of a sudden the Brewers call him up and he turns into Babe Ruth for like a month and a half. And so it's been kind of like that. But I think, again, you're looking at largely and where their success has long stemmed from outside of having those runs. Yelich had that 2 or 3 year run there where he was just basically in the MVP conversation all the time. You had Ryan Braun for a while there, so they kind of operated on power. You had Lo Cain, so their outfield was a strength. But now you're looking at their starting rotation. They got Jacob Mizorowski, the phenom starter, who's going to be working out of the bullpen. But I think what had been their strength could really turn on them because Brandon Woodruff, again, who missed a bunch of the season after some shoulder surgery previously, but had been coming back, was looking great, having one of the best. But then he's got a lat strain, which I don't think they've said too much about, but it seems like he's really unlikely to pitch or to be at full strength, even if he's able to make the roster. And I haven't seen how that's going. I haven't looked at the latest updates, but they're depleted there as well. So, but I think the thing where the Brewers come from is regardless of them having the best record, regardless of them hosting this and having home field advantage throughout the whole postseason, they still are able to go at things with an underdog mentality, right? They're a smaller market. Like you said, nobody knows. These aren't household names.
No.
So these guys can all play like underdogs regardless of how well they played during the regular season because nobody really knows who they are. And I think that anonymity to an extent allows you to play a little more freely.
Well, they're playing free as hell. As you said, best record in the National League. In the league, the World Series of the NL pennant goes through Milwaukee. So it's going to have to go through there and it's going to be tough. Like I said, the one thing that I have noticed in watching some of those no-name players, they are fundamentally sound. They do not shoot themselves in the foot. Other teams will give teams extra outs, all right, by missing the cutoff man, just poor defense. That's not them. That's not them. They are fundamentally sound all the way through. Defense, strong up the middle, good pitching. It's going to be a tough one, Evan. It's going to be a real tough one, but I think it's going to be a fun one to watch for you Cub fans.
I hope so. And I mean, I think this is the interesting thing, right? The Cubs did win the season series against the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
Not by much. It was close, but and I look at that and say they won the season series against the Dodgers as well. Now, a lot of that came, we talked about that the last time of having so many games against the Dodgers and the NL West in general early on. Feels like it's been a while since they played the Brewers. I know they did play them fairly recently, but they've had success against some of these better teams. So I do think that stacks up well for the Cubs, regardless of where they're playing. But, we look at it, it's still just a 5-game series. And so, better than 3, but you are still looking at that. The tide can turn pretty quickly. You take a couple games early, and now you're forcing the team into elimination. So, yeah, definitely I think the Cubs are in a good spot. And I think this is definitely going to be one where, it used to be Wrigley North up there. But certainly I think the Brewers fans are coming out. They've had enough success for a while there. And I joked about that, and I'll still have some battles online about it. Some people are more serious than others when they get into those things. But I think it's going to be a fun matchup for sure.
Last question before we let you go. And, guys, again, we're joined by Evan Altman. He's the editor-in-chief over at CubsInsider.com. We're talking Cubs baseball here on Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Who has the edge in the managerial slot? Greg Counsell was regarded as one of the better managers in baseball last year. The Cubs plucked him from Milwaukee. He comes over here. The Cubs don't do very well. They didn't do very well. Didn't make the playoffs last year. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, I think, kind of had maybe FU, and now they're still playing good baseball. Who do you think has the edge as far as manager?
I mean, this is something I looked at a while back, and it's interesting to note that outside of his first season when he was working in the Brewers front office, they fired their manager midseason. Craig Counsell took over the rest of the way as the interim manager. But ever since that partial first season, every game he managed for the Brewers was with Pat Murphy as his bench coach. And, you kind of sit there and wonder, there's a lot of times in which guys like that are, you could look at Mike Ditka with Buddy Ryan or something like that, right? You could look at Nick Saban with Lane Kiffin. There's a lot of times where, the guy who's kind of second in command there or is subordinate to whatever extent ends up actually being the brains behind the operation in a lot of sense. I don't want to take anything away from those are, from Ditka or Saban or anybody like that. But I think my point is that you have that guy who's kind of pulling a lot more of the strings than maybe people realize. And it's been interesting to note that then, again, Counsell came to Chicago, experienced a little bit of roughness here and there, and yet the Brewers machine kept on churning, and Murphy's really been the one who seems to have been at the heart of that. Now, again, is that just happenstance? I don't know. The Cubs certainly have more big name talent. They're spending more money on the team, so there's that, and you do get a lot more leeway with that. So it's interesting though to see. You just mentioned it before. We don't even know who most of these Brewers guys are. If you don't follow the Brewers, if you don't see them playing all the time, it's going to be hard for the average non-Brewers fan to name more than a couple guys on that team. So I think Murphy's personality has fit there really well. So to that extent, I would say he's got the edge because I feel like he's done more with less. But I would also say that just with anything else, right? If we're going to the blackjack table and I got $1,000 at a $25 minimum and you've got $100, I'm going to have the advantage because I can make more mistakes. I can be more aggressive with what I'm doing because I got a bigger bankroll, right? Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, you might lose 3 hands and you're down to your last $25. Are you going to play that or are you going to walk away, right? I can suffer a few more of those losses because I've got – and so to that extent, I would say that the council has the advantage.
Okay. What about a prediction?
Cubs in 4.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Let's get bold.
I see.
We're not here to be meek, man. Let's go.
Dude, that's okay. Evan with his prediction, Cubs in 4. I love it. I love it. Oh man, dude, thanks a lot. I appreciate your time. Got to get you back on. I know it was much better coming on after a win, especially a series clinching win. But I appreciate your time. But before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online. Yeah,
check us out, CubsInsider.com. You can go over to Facebook, search Cubs Insider, at Real Cubs Insider on X. And again, we got a YouTube channel and everything else. So just search us out there and you'll find us just about anywhere social media or videos can be found.
Cool, man. Thanks. You have a good day. You'll be fired up for tomorrow.
Yes, sir. It's going to be good.
You coming up for any of the games during the week?
My plan is to be up there on Wednesday for the game 3 at Wrigley. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. I might have to stay away though because we don't need them losing game 3. If they're going to win in 4 games, I can't cost them a win. So. I understand. I understand completely. Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk soon, man. Thanks. All right. Sounds good. See you.
All righty. Guys, that's Evan Owen from CubsInsider.com who's able to join us again. He was with us on Wednesday. Cub fans are in a good spot, man. You're in a good spot. You have a lot to play for. You should be excited. Some people were upset that the Cubs were celebrating with champagne yesterday. I don't know. Let me talk about that on the other side of the break, and then we got a lot of football to talk. All right, so we're gonna go to break, and then we'll talk about that and then some other stuff. So keep it locked right here. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. every day. No matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Every body in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Offensive line for Chicago. How do they navigate on 3rd and 5? Caleb Williams connects. 125 yards and the one pick. Williams slings it over the middle. Caught Odunze for the Chicago touchdown.
It looks to me like we have confusion. Both of these safeties, watch the communication pre-snap, and they both come down and there's no safety in the middle of the field. Both corners are playing outside leverage downfield to make a big play.
For a big 3rd down right here. 3rd and 3. Williams steps up, pocket muddies, and he's going to be short. Numbers starting to pile up now for the Bears. As Tory Taylor with some good leg on it. Does this take a Chicago bounce? And it will. Masterfully done by Taylor.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. Those were the boys on Sunday that we are so fired up about. Woo-wee! As they go into the bye with a 2-2 record. Should be 3-1, but hey, what are you gonna do? Junior says, I was watching a Packer fan going crazy mad at the Bears beat the Raiders. Yeah, I saw that one, dude. Rick says, Shawn, is there any way we can get some of your highlights when you played inserted into either the open of the show or when there's a commercials? I think that'd be cool to see. FGB. Yeah, I'll talk to Steve-O, and I got some tapes. So I got some tapes back from my old producer who put together a clip for me and someone else that I was doing a collabo with. Yeah. Jay Grizz. So let me shout out some of the people in the chat that I didn't get to say what's up to earlier. King Booker World, what's up, Papa? He is in the house. I know he just got in a little while ago. He goes, here you go. Salute everyone. And Shawn, my man's in the house. Mr. Shode is in the house. Let's get your original one. Where's the original one? Good morning, Grizz. He said that. Shorty was saying hi to everybody. Morning, Shawn. And then my man, Jay Grizz from the East Coast checking in. I appreciate it, Papa. Thank you very much. Say good morning. Happy Friday, sports owners. Man, TGI Mickey Vicky Friday. Man, I'll tell you what, it's been a week. It's been a week. So I've been doing a fast. So from Monday through Friday through today. So I can't eat till tomorrow morning. Ooh, Charlie. Wow. The most I've ever done was 3 days. This one's 5. And I was going to do, so I planned to go for 2 weeks. And I strategically planned it because the Bears weren't playing this week. I said, okay. I was going to go Monday through next Sunday. So 14 days because the Bears play Monday night. Then I get a text from my cousin who's like, hey, come on out. I'm going to be celebrating my birthday here. Come meet me out. Would love to have you. This is for tomorrow. So I'm like, oh. And I know with him, there's no not drinking of alcohol when he's with him. There's none of that. You're drinking. So I said, all right. I said, I'll do Monday through Friday. You know, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be able to eat, but then Monday through Friday again next week. So instead of 14 straight days, it'll be 10 days total. Maybe I'll do 11. Maybe I'll do Sunday, but we'll see. So yeah, so I'm a little ornery. Workout. Yeah, I've been good though. Jay Grizz, yeah, big game tonight. Mount Carmel hosting Brother Rice. Yeah, I was talking about that with one of the guys. So I work out with one guy, a Brother Rice graduate, and I also work out with Jordan Lynch, the head coach of Mount Carmel. So I work out with a wide variety there in my CrossFit classes. Yeah, big game, both fun, both undefeated. Yeah. Rick said, what's the first thing you eat tomorrow? FGB. Well, here's the thing. The proper way to break a fast is fruit. So tomorrow morning, it's not going to be a burrito with huevo con chorizo. Definitely not. So what's gonna be, I got some watermelon in the fridge ready. Went to Mariano's and got some watermelon. So the way to break it is single fruit. So just watermelon. So just have watermelon for that meal. Boom. Then about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours later, I can mix the fruits. I can have watermelon, pineapple, apple, strawberries, whatever. Then my third meal is when I can actually have real food, which is, they said that in my research, that's the best way to do it. So first thing I'm eating tomorrow is a whole bunch of watermelon, which is stereotypical like a mug because I'm Mexican and black. So I love watermelon twice as much as everybody. Shorty says you can go 14 days without eating. Well, I'll find it out maybe another time, Shorty. Maybe another time. Because like I said, my cousin's birthday is this weekend. Then, yeah. And then next weekend, I definitely couldn't do it next weekend. One, the Bears are playing, but two, my cousin's in town. His daughter's quince is coming up. For those of you who don't know, the quinceañera it's like a celebration when your daughter turns 15 in the Mexican culture. Kind of presenting her as a young lady, like a debutante ball for some of you who know what that is. That's a big thing. So he's flying in. He lives in Georgia. He's from Chicago, but lives in Georgia now. And yeah. Rick says I can't go 3 hours without eating. FGB. I'll tell you what, man, it takes a lot of willpower, bro. Like that, I wouldn't recommend it. Why not, bro? It's people have done 21-day fasts and have gone for a month. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Sure says, no, I mean, you won't die without food for 14 days. No, you won't. You won't. I drink tons of water, dude. I went to Costco. I got 3 40-packs of water. Yeah, 14. Real quick before we get back to sports, what it'll do when your body, because we all have extra fat on us, all right? The way the body works, it goes after carbohydrates first. Like Diamond. I'm fat, I'm a foodie. Hey, I ain't mad at you. Keep it a buck, bro. I ain't mad at you. Mexicans make the best elotes. Yeah. So I was at the Cigar Social, and I'm gonna get this shirt. It's called. So a buddy of mine is Work Mija, and so if you want to take there's a T-shirt. A guy was wearing. So this business card was one of the guys I met. Michael. Roberto. I can't remember his last name. Son of a biscuit. Anyway, his daughter had this T-shirt that one of the other guys was wearing. He had spoken to this guy before, and guy went to the website. He had a picture of a Mexican, an elote. It said, "Chase your dreams like you chase the elotero." For those of you, chase your dreams like you chase the Mexican corn guy, which was funny. So I'm gonna get that. But no, basically what happens. No, you say, but ain't too much water not good for you? No, yeah, too much water is not good because you can actually drown by drinking too much water. But I mean, we're talking like 5, 6, 7 gallons a day. It would take. Yeah. What it does is it needs energy. So first, it goes after carbohydrates in your body. That's why remember the Atkins diet took out carbs. People lose weight real quick because what happens is after that it goes after fat. But when there's nothing else besides to go after, what it does is not only does it go after fat, but your body goes after all the bad cells in your body. All right, and if you're sick, all right, and all the acidic cells. This could get a whole nother podcast. But it goes after the bad cells. All right, and it uses those as energy. So you can go, just need water just to, because you're made up of 70, 80% water. Yeah. Shorty says, "Fat, you have fat. I pat you on the back of my hand, still hurts." Yeah, you didn't pat me on my belly. After the fat's being stored. But yeah, so 14 days I could do that. Some people, like I said, have done 21 days. I think Kendall Gill did 21 days. He lost like 35 pounds. He was charting it one day. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, and I'm excited to eat tomorrow. So I'm going to get up early tomorrow because I want that first meal out of the way. Like I said, what I really wanted to do is I want to go get some huevo con chorizo, right, with some rice and beans, sour cream. Man, that would have been my perfect, but I can't. I could do it, but it's just not the best way to break fast. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And then definitely not going to be drinking too much. Actually, I'm taking an Uber tomorrow. So I'm going to need an Uber dealing with my cousin. I'm going to need an Uber dealing with his ass. So yeah, that's crazy. That's nutso. But Jay Grizz is like, and elote and churros too, SuperBack. Man, woo-wee. Tell you. So there's a brand, a store, a little shop called Churro, Xurro instead of the CH. It's Xurro, Churro, and they have them all around the city. Man, and they make them there. And then they can fill them with strawberry cream with chocolate. Yeah, strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate, or cream cheese. Cream cheese, strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. You fill them up. Man. Whew. Sure, you should try 72 if you can do 48. Because the second day is the worst, man. Day 2 is the worst. Stay the hell away from me. Dude, I am just ornery. That's why I went to CrossFit, and I knew I was going to be angry, and I was able to throw the weight around. But yeah, try 72, bro. You'll probably lose 8 to 10 pounds. Brain fog is clear. If you have any aches and pains, they're gone. Because any aches and pains, if there's, it's your body uses them as fuel to burn, to function. So yeah, try 48, but I'm saying the best would be 72, 3 days. And I know it's tough. Sometimes you gotta. I'm used to it because I used to do it. I used to do 3 days the first week of every month. So the first full week, I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of a month last year. And yeah, so I got no problem. Like I actually went shopping the other day for moms, and I'm cool with it. But anyway, let's get back to some sports. Rick, you're a damn fool. After he just got saying I can't go more than 3 hours, Rick says, I would try 4 hours for you, Shawn. That's all my ass can do, my man. FGB. I appreciate it, bro. Oh, that's awesome. That's classic. Oh, man. We were talking a little Cubs, though. Just got done with Evan Altman, CubsInsider.com. And the Cubs are playing tomorrow, 1:08 p.m. Central Time. A lot of people are going up to Wrigley North in Milwaukee. A lot of Cub fans. And I'm telling you, PCA seems like he's coming out of his slump. Seiya Suzuki seems to be out of his slump. Michael Busch is hitting the ball all over the place. And Lord have mercy, King Tuck gets hot. Wow. There's a good chance you guys. There's a good chance you guys. That'd be crazy if you went through Philly and the Dodgers. So I haven't seen the brackets. I don't know if that's feasible, but there's a good chance that you guys could do that. So we'll see. The offense definitely has to step up, like you did yesterday against the closer, and we're able to attack their probably the best bullpen in Major League Baseball yesterday. The Padres have arguably, and there's a very little argument, the best bullpen in baseball, and the Cubs were able to get to him. Michael Busch with that homer, added an insurance run. So if you did that against them, and Kyle Tucker's not even hitting, what happens when he does hit? All right, your defense. The one thing that I've said repeatedly when playing defense, if you're strong up the middle, it doesn't matter what sport we're talking about, whether it's baseball, your second baseman, your shortstop, and your center fielder. Okay, if we're talking football, you got a good run defense, you got a good nose guard or a good 3-tech, can't run up the middle. Or basketball, or talking basketball, you have a good a rim protector in the back, in the middle of the lane. Or hockey, you got great defensemen. When you are strong up the middle and fundamentally sound up the middle, you will be a good team. You will be in the playoff contention. You might not be a great team, but you will be a very, very good team. At worst, you'll be a very, very good team. Strong defense up the middle. And the thing that you're going to have to do is who's going to blink? Who's going to make the first mistake? Okay? Who's going to make the first mistake for you, for the Cubs in the series? The Cubs are the Brewers. Because the Brewers, are, as I mentioned, were fundamentally sound. The Cubs up the middle are fundamentally sound. You got Pete Crow Armstrong, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, all Gold Glove candidates. Okay, all Gold Glove candidates, so you're strong up the middle. But so who's going to blink first? Who's going to make the first mistake? And not only that, not only who's going to make the first mistake, but more importantly, who's going to capitalize first off the other team's mistakes. So good luck to you guys. It's best of 5 now. Okay. Game 1 is in Milwaukee on Saturday, tomorrow. Game 2, so you have Sunday off. Game 2 is Monday, 8 o'clock. Game 3 and 4 would be here at Wrigley on Wednesday and Thursday. And Game 5 would be October 11th. I don't know what day that is. But today. It'll be on Saturday, a week from Saturday, from tomorrow. Okay. They have a travel day. I know it's built in, even though it's only 90 miles away. No, you're right. You're right, Jay Grizz. Jay Grizz said I'd love to stick a Cubs victory to the Philly fans up here. He goes, but you got to take care of Milwaukee first. So yeah, that's a tall task. That's a tall task, and we'll see how they do. They got a lot of momentum. Okay, they just faced a really good team with the best bullpen in baseball. If you can attack and get to that best bullpen in baseball, you should be able to attack any other bullpen that you see. Just my thoughts. But anyway, I'm excited about the fact that the Bears have the bye this week. All right, I am. It gives them a chance to course correct, self-scout, and make any and all changes necessary to go in the right direction. All right, there's a lot of things that need work. All right, by no means are they a finished product. However, with the play making ability of the defense, this team can be very dangerous. All right, because what happens when you get playmakers on defense, it gets contagious. All right, you saw Kevin Byard the 2 interceptions. Tyreek Stevenson had to get a full extension. Tyreek Stevenson the week before ripping the ball out of the Dallas Cowboys running back hand, his arm before he steps out of bounds. All right, turnovers, and they happen in bunches. And when you have an opportunistic defense, we saw how it was when we had Eddie Jackson. We had Bojack. We saw how it was. We saw how turnovers came in bunches. And if we can continue to get turnovers in short fields, all right, it's going to help. Now we've got to do a much better job on offense of turning those turnovers into touchdowns. We've got a lot of turnovers, and we get field goals. We need more touchdowns, but that's going to take time. That's going to take time, because what's going to happen is we're going to get to that point where you turn the ball over in the 50-yard line in, it's 6. Automatic 6. All right. Think of the ways that Ben Johnson has schemed people open. Let me ask you a question. Real talk. We've seen someone open at least 15, 20 yards downfield every game this year. Have we not? All right, the one to DJ game 1 where he was missed, or Caleb missed him. All right. Rome, the second game, Caleb hit him. A lot of the 15, 20-yard passes that Caleb has connected on. The 1-2 Cole Kmet over the middle. How good does it feel for us to finally have guys wide open down the field, 15, 20 yards down? How good does that feel for you, Bear fans? Because we've been on the other side of that shit for so long. We've been on the other side of that coin for so long. We're bitching and moaning. How the hell is this guy getting wide open? How the hell is this guy getting wide open? We remember those. And that was like 7 to 10 times a year. 7 to 10 games a year, there were guys wide open running down the field. Now we have guys running wide open down the field. How good does that feel, guys? Foster Covers, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. He's like, before turnovers and only 6 points. I agree. That's why I said earlier, if you just got in, I just said it probably right before you got in, you got to turn those field goals into touchdowns. How good does that feel? Put it in the chat. How good does that feel? To know that we have guys who are schemed over, who are wide open 15, 20 yards down the field. Every game we've had it. And I presume or assume, but you never know, you should never assume, make an ass out of you and me, but I assume that we're going to have guys wide open in the remainder of the game, most of the games that we have remaining. Now, Caleb's got to hit him. Caleb's got to hit him. I know someone mentioned it earlier, said they saw the same thing. Yeah, Cornelius said every time I watch that Rome TD, you can see that Caleb could have hit DJ too. Something up. Remember I told you, there's something there. There's something there. because his refusal to go to DJ is going to cause DJ to get traded. That's what it's going to do. They're going to try and market him a number one receiver in the middle of his prime. You throw DJ in a second round pick, you can get an edge rusher, especially one with a big contract like a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby. If some team's willing to let him go. That's what I'm saying. If they're willing to let him go. But the one thing I need to see better. I like the ball distribution. Don't get me wrong. But I also like hitting the wide open receiver. And if you're going to force it to anybody, force it to DJ. Because DJ has done this. He's done this longer. He's better at it. We've seen Rome miss a couple of jump balls. We've seen Rome drop a couple of balls, but no pun intended, a couple passes. We've seen Rome drop passes right in his chest. Or they go right through his hands. So as good as Rome is, there's still room for improvement. DJ has 11 targets. On the season. Rome had 11 targets last game. I want to see Luther Burden get involved a little more. I want to see Kyle Monungai get a little more action. Okay? Because once we start to switch in and out running backs, all right, Kyle Monungai, he just needs time. I'm telling you, as a running back, when you go to a new system, you go to a new team, you got to get used to the way they block. You have to know. You got to get used to how your offensive linemen block. Are you going to have 18 inches of daylight, or their holes going to be wide open? How are they going to be? Because and I don't think we've really settled on an offensive line yet as far as comfort level. I don't think they're still comfortable with each other because now we're making new changes. Now, Braxton Jones got benched. Theo's going to left tackle. Isaac Trapillo's going to right tackle. While Darnell Wright is injured. He's working back from the hand injury, the arm injury. So the question is, when he comes back, what happens? I propose all along that Ben Johnson told Ryan Poles, I'm not a big fan of Wright. Not a big fan of him. Darnell Wright. They've been on him big time, if you recall, since training camp. And he never gets excited. Listen to the way he talks about people. When he's like, yeah, well, he's still developing. He's still this. He's not committal. When you hear him talk about Ozzie Trapillo, he's like, oh, Ozzie's doing better. You know, he's doing everything we ask him to, blah, 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 blah. He's learning, blah, blah. Okay, good. But he's been very critical of Darnell Wright. And Darnell Wright doesn't help himself with some missed assignments, with a lot of pre-snap penalties. Come on, bro. You're in your third year, your fourth year. It's your third year, I should say. You need to step up big time. Because the Bears have to decide if they're gonna pick up your fifth-year option this year, which I think they should anyway, regardless whether they keep him or not. Because you can trade him. You can have him under contract for the fifth year, and if someone comes calling, cool. And guess what? Here's the cool part. Because he's under contract for the fifth year, because he would be under team control for the next 2 years. That makes him more valuable. You can ask for more things back from a team. you can ask for more things in return. It's just the art of negotiation. If you have a guy locked up for a longer period of time, you can calculate that into your cap and your spending. The shorty says, or he becomes a great backup swing tackle. You're going to pay a backup swing tackle. How much you going to pay him? Because his fifth-year option is going to be pretty expensive. His fifth-year option is going to keep going up. I agree with you. I think Braxton Jones is a good swing tackle. Although I don't know how well he would play the right side because he's played the left side for 3 years now, 4 years. 3. This is 4th year. He's played the left side his whole time here in Chicago. So here's the one thing that I'm having an issue with. And Coach Richard, the offensive line coach, really needs to be adamant. It needs to be a prick about this. I'm not liking the run fits. I'm not liking the fact that we can't latch onto a guy for more than 2 seconds. For more than 1 second. For 1 to 2 seconds, we can't latch onto a guy. If you're able to latch onto a guy for 1 to 2 seconds, we're in the secondary all day. Running backs are in the secondary all day. 1 to 2 seconds. And that includes double team. 2 guys clear. 2 guys come here. 1 guy chips off to the back, the linebacker. Running back sees it, makes the cut. We're in the 3rd level. And don't get me wrong. I understand the defense gets paid as well. But to not have that type of pride, and maybe it's just the lack of continuity of practice of game time reps, but we got too many veterans in an offensive line. I know, Darnell Wright, you're in your 3rd year. But the guys we signed, Jonah Jackson, Dahlman, and Tunney, that group needs to, that inside 3 needs to gel quickly, quick, fast, in a hurry. Because we need better production from the run game. Better production from the run game. That'll help Swift. That'll help Kyle Monungai. And Roschon Johnson's a great character guy. Has great character. Roschon Johnson has great character. But that's what I'm seeing with that. Cole Kmet's having a rough year. A couple of drops. The one coming out of the break where he, what was that? I was looking at that earlier on Twitter. Where Caleb hits him over the middle. Inside the 10. I want to say it's inside the 10. It's inside the red zone. And he drops it and the guy hits him and jars the ball loose. Rick, I agree completely. Rick says if Poles could draft better, we would not be having these conversations. Poles has been mixing and matching this whole line since he got here. FGB. Yes. So when you need a left tackle, here's what you do. You go draft the left tackle. When you need a right guard, what do? You go draft a right guard. You don't draft a right tackle and plan to move him to the left. You don't draft a left guard and plan to move him to right guard. Why this is a problem, I have no idea. Why you're picking Kieran Amagaji out of Yale in the third round is beyond me. There are other Power 5 guards who are available. Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room, Mr. Poles. No Diddy. Stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room. When you have a guy who's talented and he's there on the board in a position that you need, that's the crazy part. It's a position you need. Take him. If there's a guy, a talented guy, a Power 5 guy available for you in the draft at a position you need, take him. Take him. What did Philadelphia do? Jay Grizz, you're over in the city of brotherly love. What did they do to that defense? This Georgia team just won national championship. They're in the college football playoffs, the national championship like every year. So let's take guys from the national championship team. Let's draft those guys. Let's draft those guys. King Book World. Talk about Roshan Johnson. He's a hell of a guy. Karan is a swell guy, Shawn. Because I like where this offense can go. I really do. The possibilities of this offense are endless. Jay Grizz, you know it. So they turned that team to Georgia Bulldogs Northeast. They did. You got guys who won a national championship, so these guys are not averse or not scared by the big moment. They played in big games. They've been in a winner go home situation in the college football playoffs, and they won the tournament. They won the national championship. So now you got guys who are big game tested and successful. You can be big game. You can go to big game and lose, but you go to the big game and you win. That's another story. King Book World. That's like if I ask for grape Kool-Aid and you bring me red, we fighting. Speaking of that, where was I the other day? Damn. I can't remember where I was the other day. Well, it was last week because I was eating. And I had some, and I was like, what kind of pop do you have? And they had Starry, Pepsi, but they also had Crush. They had Orange Crush, they had Grape Crush, they had Strawberry Crush. I was like, man, give me the ghettoest of ghetto. Give me Grape Crush. So I had a Grape Crush. I can't remember where that was. But seeing this refusal to make things easy for yourself. Because I was just thinking you had all these guys under contract, like they're locked in, and they're not in big contracts. This is why you got to sign free agents, because you don't take the low-hanging fruit sometimes. The obvious pick you don't take. Rick says, I remember back in the late 90s at the Joliet Dollar movie theater, they sold Kool-Aid for $1. Best FGB. Or like bringing me Faygo Pop instead of a Tahitian treat, King Book of World. Jay Grizz says. Cornelius, man, I used to love Orange Crush. Dude, I still love Orange Crush. When I see that, my eyes get big. Ooh, I get happy I get giddy like a little schoolgirl if I see Orange Crush. If you have the strawberry or the grape, man, I'll take the strawberry or the grape over the orange. And I love orange. I don't see strawberry or grape Crush a lot. So when I do, I get all excited. Like, yeah, give me that, give me that, give me that. Be calling me, Joe. Be calling me. They be calling me. King Booker will say, Grape Crush would make me start drinking pop again. You fall off the wagon, huh? That's funny. That's funny. But I'm excited for where this team could go. That needs to be picked up. And here's the thing that bothers me. Like Coach Richard. Get into these guys. Like he needs to be the toughest, most angriest son of a gun on that coaching staff. I need my run fits every play, period. You know who you got, go get them. And you see other teams, man, there's so many times you see a game in the NFL, the tackle, the safety's making a tackle, the corners are making a tackle. That's what I want. That's what I want on run plays. I want the corner and the safety making the tackles. You watch how everything's lined up. You have a nice little path, and I'm telling you, playing running back, I remember this like it was yesterday, like it was 5 minutes ago. Having great run lanes. Great run lanes. And again, it's where we talk about knowing your KYP, know your personnel. To borrow a term from Stacey King, KYP. We had Dwayne on the left tackle. Caesar was my left guard. I don't remember who's our center, Junior. Who's the center? Was Dwayne the center? Junior was the right guard, or was you the left? And then Caesar was the right. And then Big Ike at right tackle. And I knew how they fit. I go up, I see the formation. What D are they in? What defense are they in? Okay, so then I knew exactly how they would block. And sure enough, boom, boom, boom. They didn't need. They literally needed for a second plus. And I'm gone. I didn't waste time back there. I can't hang around. I got reservations for 6. Can't play around. I got reservations for 6. So that offensive line needs to get better. They need to work on getting their run fits. Again, I understand the defenses get paid a lot of money too. But how much pride do you have in your job? How much pride? How much pride do you have in dominating the man, dominating the man across from you all game long? That's my question. That's what question I would pose to this offensive lineman. And we're going through, and then we go through drills. Boom, 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 boom. Peep this, peep this. Twists we're having an issue with. I don't know why. It's high school stuff. They're doing this shit in grammar school, actually, now. But on the highest level, you got guys who are having problems with twists. What? King Book of World. Crust was good, but knee-high was the boss. I'm clotheslining mamas for knee-high fruit punch. O-line penalties that have been killing drives. Yes, because you're not moving your feet. You're not getting to where you need to get to. And now you got to reach. You're not getting to where you got to get to, and now you got to reach. This offense potential is out of this world. Out of this world. And I was saying, Kaminaga needs to get more touches. It seems like Ben likes to go away from the run a little too much because he's not getting the production he wants. But that's because we're not getting good, solid run fits. Get good, solid run fits, run can go. Jay Grizz says, you RC, Pepsi, or Coke? Well, growing up, you always got the 2-liter RC with the extra large pizza. Can't tell you how many pizza parties we went to. All right, give me extra large pizza. And like, okay, you get a free 2-liter RC. We take it. Only thing with RC is that it sticks to your teeth. And then I went into Coca-Cola. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's very powerful, very strong. Jay Grizz, at SPAC, SuperBack, RC always came with the pizza, didn't it? Didn't it? And then it just got, Coke was like too strong. And then I thought the actual taste from Pepsi was better. And it wasn't as acidic. It wasn't as acidic as Coke. So I'm a Pepsi guy. But on defense, we need some pass rush. Yeah, King Booker will say, who remember the Wildwoods? The Jules Wildwood Pops. He said right wood here, but the Wildwood Pops from Jules. I remember those. You know, we're talking. I want to see Shamar Turner get a little more action. I want to see Grady Jarrett stay healthy. I want to see that motor that he had for the first 9 years of his career down in Atlanta. I need to see it here. I want to see a lot more of Noah Sewell. We have a great linebacking core. Tremaine Edmonds stepping it up. TJ Edwards been leading the top of the leaderboard when it comes to tackles the last 2 seasons. And now Noah Sewell, finally healthy, goes in when Tremaine's out, or TJ Edwards is out, deal with the hamstring, and he's getting double-digit tackles. Forcing fumbles. Rick said, Shawn, this chat went off the rails. Just say F and let's talk about soda. FGB. Oh, I love it. I love it. We got great linebacker play right now. We got great secondary play right now. Imagine, who said it earlier? Was that you, Cornelius? Jay Gris says, man, oh man, I don't drink pop like I used to either, but y'all got me wanting to pop right about now. Who said it? Let me see. Man, I gotta go all the way back to here. Dude, that's funny. We're talking all about pop. Oh, man. I'm trying to see. And here's why you star them, silly. Okay. Someone mentioned, I was trying to find who mentioned it, But this thing, here it is. Rick. It was Rick. He said, it's insane. We got all those interceptions with zero pass rush, FGB. Yes. Imagine if you had a pass rush. King Booker World said, I want to see this defense hold a team below 100 yards rushing. Yeah, so would I. Imagine if we had a pass rush. This is if you told me and us Bear fans that we'd have this type of production with interceptions with a pass rush, we'd be like, oh yeah, it's about right. The fact that we're doing this without a pass rush is amazing. That is amazing. And I get it. You can say the quarterback threw a bad ball. All those picks, all of them, not all of them, because you see people diving. You see outstretched arms of, was it Byard? Tyreek Stevenson. You see guys are jumping, diving, fully extending for the ball. So mind you, the quarterback could have put it better. Now you're asking them to put the needle through the haystack. You just got to get to the receiver. And they're playing phenomenal coverage, whether it's in man or zone. We have a hell of a secondary that's without Jalen Johnson playing. That's without Jalen Johnson playing. Kyler Gordon hasn't played either. Yet. Jalen Johnson played one game. Kyler Gordon hasn't played, and we're still picking the ball off. Our secondary is excellent. Our linebacking core is excellent. What we're missing is a God-blessed D-line, that God-blessed pass rush from opposite Montez Sweat. And Montez Sweat, I don't know what the coach is doing. Like, and you know, you talk with the players, and you want to kind of build them up. Like, there's a time for tough love. It's coming at some point. Because at some point, you got to be like, look, bro, you're making $98 million. What the hell are you doing? Why aren't you sacking the quarterback? I don't want to hear the fact that they're double teaming you. Because guess what? There are guys who are getting double teamed sacking the quarterback who are making $98 million. How great do you want to be? They need to challenge these players. How great do you want to be, Montez Sweat? You're just happy with $100 million, or do you want to be great? Because that's the thing that bugs me. You don't have guys who, Jay Grizz, how many guys want to be great? Jay Grizz says coaching matters, and shout out to Al Harris. Yep. So if we can get this defense to stop the run, this is where our defensive tackles need to do a better job because they're getting right up to the linebackers. Right up to the linebackers. Which is why people can run the ball against us, and our run game isn't where we need it to be because our offensive lineman isn't getting to the second level. That's cold, King Book World. Montez Sweat, the $98 million Care Bear. That's harsh. I don't see the lie. But man, it's fun. It's fun to decompress. And I know there should be self-scouting, and I can't wait to see what direction they take when they come back. I can't wait to see the adjustments they make when they come back. Because if you make the right adjustments, we're going to take off quick, fast, in a hurry. And the awesome part is this offense is still in the developmental stage. All right, where they're still getting used to each other and still working out the kinks, the bugs in this thing. So as the season goes on, it's going to get better. And in 2026, it's going to be real good. And probably won't even be probably not until 2027 will it be running like a well-oiled machine. But don't get it twisted. If your car's not a well-oiled machine, it can still get you from point A to point B, and that's where we're at right now. Seeing a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of misreads, a lot of overthrows. Okay. But it's going to get better. That's the exciting part. That's what you got to watch. Remember, it's not linear, so it's not going to get, 250 this week, 275 next week, we have 300 the following week. No, it's not how it works. You just have to watch and see if he's developing. Are you watching his feet? Are his feet happy? Or does he have calm feet in the pocket? If you got happy feet, he's moving his feet, he's pitter-pattering. It's not what you want. You want a guy with nice, smooth, easy feet in the pocket. Oh, listen, 2 hours is coming and going. I want to thank my guest, Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com. Coming on talking Cubs baseball with you guys. You Cub fans must be in heaven. Talk 40 minutes. Cubs baseball. Jose Sanchez, what's up, Papa? How are you? He's like, at ShawnSierra, Boricua. What's good, bro? Rick, if you enjoyed today's soda talk, make sure you tune in every Monday when Shawn breaks down his favorite Jules' stores on the South Side. FGB. That's awesome. That's awesome. But guys, listen, have a phenomenal weekend. It's going to be beautiful weather. What's the high today? High of 87. Woo, Charlie. High of 87 today. It's going to be beautiful this weekend. 30, page 30. Where we at? Here we go. 87 today. 88 tomorrow. 85 Sunday. 80 Monday. And we drop down to 72 Tuesday and rainy. 66 Wednesday. 67 Thursday. But man, this whole weekend is nice. Get out there and enjoy it. What I always tell you, let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. Make plans. Go to the house music festival this weekend. It's going to be stuff to do. Navy Pier's popping. Restaurants are popping. Rooftops are popping. Patios are going to be open. Make friends with your loved ones, man. I mean, make plans with your loved ones and friends to get out there and enjoy this weekend. It could be one of the last really nice weekends in the shot. All right, I got to get out of here. 12:15. Second City Sports with Lakina in Sydney. They'll take you on another 2-hour cruise of Chicago sports. So tune into that. Then the Smoke Fellas tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So tomorrow, when you see the Smoke Fellas, I would have had my first meal. I would have had my watermelon. I might be eating watermelon and pineapple at that point. I'm getting up early tomorrow to eat my first meal. Not going to CrossFit, just getting up early to eat that meal. But anyway, guys, have a phenomenal day. Phenomenal weekend. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. If you got kids, take them out. Significant other, take them out. Take her out. Take them out. Take the wife and kids out. Do some cool shit. They got go. Take a helicopter ride. That's expensive, like $300 a person. But who cares? Take a helicopter ride to view the city. Go on to Sea Dog. Go down to Navy Pier. Get on one of the boats. Take the architectural boat cruise. Go to a museum. Chicago's tons of stuff for you to do. Get out there. If you're a baseball guy, meet up with your people if they're baseball people. Tons of things to do. Do it. As I said before, a lot of us in this chat and this show have a lot more days behind us than we do in front of us. So make these few days, the remaining days in front of us, memorable. But all right, baby, I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up the warden. You guys have a phenomenal weekend. For everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal weekend. I am out.
Come on, race the bass.